Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first official HTL Unfiltered podcast. I have with me the commentator Tarheel, the Canadian Zero, El Diablo, Hannah, McDawg's girlfriend, and we have the reigning Daytona 500 champion, McDawgFan. How y'all doing tonight?
What's going on?
Oh, I'm good. I don't know about starting off the season with El Diablo, though. That was nice.
Listen, we couldn't come up with anything, so we just stuck with it, right?
Here
I'm
you're
still
going to
going
get
fighting
our
chicken.
here you're going to get our unfiltered opinions about stuff, and half of us are drunk, half of us are high, so this is probably going to be a 40-minute train wreck. So.
Sounds like a party to me.
And if anyone's wondering why the hell I am here out of all things,
Brand new diversity.
I was gonna say I'm also the commentator for the National Series, but you can go fuck yourself, I guess.
But we got some Canadians in the league now, and they needed to be represented, I guess. So you're here.
I'm the one that kind of brought them in here.
And this is the best Canada could give us.
You know,
you
my
didn't ask for the best. You just
my
asked for more
expectation of
drivers.
Canada was like Ryan Reynolds and like Mounties and stuff. My first like real introduction is Zero G.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry. How's it going, Nate?
Oh, nice save.
Well, thinking about.
So, oh god, that was. I'm gonna have to go like.
Yeah, talk about the Moose Lodge.
I gotta go sleep on an American flag after this. I feel like I'm getting more Canadian by the second. This is pathetic.
Yeah, you gonna have a poutine there, bro.
So Speed Weeks just ended. You had pretty much only Tombstone and Tribe taking home any wins in both the Cup Series and the Grand National Series. So Tarheel, Regium's really doing a great job.
Hey man, listen. You know what I think about your opinion?
You know,
to be fair,
you called
the fuck-
you called Atlanta a festering swamp of mediocrity, and I feel the exact same way about Regium.
Listen, man, have you ever tried to drive a 53-foot trailer in a semi through downtown Atlanta?
No.
It's not fun, and neither is doing this with you right now. You keep this shit up.
Listen, be better and I won't say anything. That's all you got to do.
Don't you use my argument against me.
I am, and you ain't
Look at this man's face. Look at this man's face. You don't want to fuck with that.
Rethink that move, son.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Take me out in the Grand National Series? Ooh, wow!
Damn.
Oh, we're supposed to be trashing other people, not each other.
Aren't we supposed to be recapping some race or something?
I don't know. This is already off the rails or whatever. So
definitely not
500.
unfiltered.
So McDawg won the 500 over me.
Yeah,
Go
hell
you.
yeah.
Good job, great job. You know you ran out of fuel.
No.
Blowing
You won
out
the
3
500
eardrums in
over
the
your
process.
entire team, my guy.
It happens.
I was gonna
Blowing
say,
out
Listen,
3
he-
sets of eardrums, by the way.
Listen, this man literally watched Dale Earnhardt Jr. film for a NASCAR Heat 5 game. I didn't expect that.
I wanted this win bad. I wanted it really bad.
Couldn't help it. Me and the 22 were on skates the whole time because we kept lagging the whole last 5 laps.
Excuses.
Yeah, the glitches last night were horrible.
That
I don't
is true.
I don't know what was going on with the track last night. It had some problems in speed weeks, like in the truck race even I hit some glitches, but there was nothing as terrible as, the actual 500. There was glitches, it seems, just in the middle of the track and was making people go all over the place.
Yeah.
Literally, I was literally on your bumper on the backstretch. I finally make my way back up into 6th place, and all of a sudden, I get turned. I'm like, did Great One just fucking turn me? Nope. I look back on it. I'm like, what the fuck hit me? A gust of wind?
Not to mention everyone was like lagging the entire time, and like it made no sense because most of the people that were like lagging were on LAN cables. Like you had Kyle lag out who uses a LAN cables. The servers were like at their worst last night. It was terrible.
I felt terrible for Kyle because just watching the way his car looked, even on the broadcast, was absolutely insane. He was shooting up and down all over the track, just causing so much damage, and it just sucked because I know he couldn't do anything about it.
But there were moments that he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he crawled his way into the
Speedway
top
driver.
5 a few times. And he had such high expectations for this race too. I mean, the last 2 races, like the All-Star race at Daytona last year and the actual Daytona race last year, he lost it by like half a car length both times. So I thought we all had a pretty good, we thought Kyle was going to be up there at the top 5 at the end there, and it's just he lagged out. It was crazy.
A lot of guys usually finish up front at these restrictor plate tracks had tough days yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Moutre.
Yeah, Moutre was a lap down at the end.
Lap down. Cup. I think Cup was a lap down too, or
I thought he finished
no,
fifth.
no, he finished 5th.
I know Dapster faced an uphill battle all day long.
him. Great One is a pretty good threat at these super speedway races, and I don't even think he finished the race.
He lagged pretty hard in stage 3, and then he eventually just lagged out completely.
So you had the winner of last year's 500, the runner-up of last year's 500, both finish at the back of the pack. Was Dabster even on the lead lap? But
Yes, he was. He finished 9th. I was able to sneak in a top 10, but even I even couldn't do anything. I would get up to the front of the game and just fuck me. So
Zero, you had a pretty
fix your
tough day
shit.
too.
Oh my god, literally the past few just the super speedway tracks I've noticed. Like I remember last year winning the Budweiser shootout, then finishing I think 4th at both Daytona races. And then to go at Dega have horrible luck because that was when we were trying to link up with McDawg and everyone knew Five Glory at the time, and we didn't have any luck there. That was when Moutre won his 2nd consecutive super speedway race, and then the other one, every time I would get put on the outside and then someone just puts me in the wall and I'm in the back of the pack, and I think that's when I had to work my midnight shift, so I'd leave anyway. But still, just I've had the worst luck lately on super speedways, but I was able to sneak in a top 10, so top 10 streak still alive, so thank God.
I mean, let's talk about some of the surprises though. I mean, you had DJ go out and win stage 2 somehow.
I was really surprised by the strength of Newfound Glory.
Yeah,
I think most of us, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, most of us had written them off thinking that they were going to be there, but they weren't going to compete. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can even attest to that because of the interview I did with DJ at the end. He I didn't mean to offend him, but I mentioned how no one really expected anything like that, and then he kind of laughed it off. But yeah, we basically had him written off. He brought it back. So.
I mean, I expected them to be good at a lot of places. I mean, we have a close working relationship with Tribe, being an old Newfound Glory team. Sorry, I can't talk apparently, but yeah, exactly. But I didn't expect the speed that I saw out of them. Like Fuzzy would get to the front and he would hold the lead. DJ would get to the front and he would hold the lead. So it was pretty impressive to see.
Well, even in the truck series, Fuzzy was putting in some work, especially even just in in the duels even.
Right.
So looking at the team as a whole, just even from 2 different race aspects, they've got some power behind them that like everybody is saying that nobody really expected, but it's going to be exciting to see as the season progresses.
I don't want to talk about Fuzzy in the truck series right now.
I apologize.
To be fair though, I've been in close talks and communication with DJ and during the off season and during the continuous speed weeks, and the vibe he gives me is he's really putting in the work. He's coming back full time this season, and he's told me that he wants to win. He wants to go into the playoffs. He doesn't want like what happened 2 seasons ago where he just happened to win at Phoenix. Like he wants to prove that he belongs in this league. Like he wants to go back to the old DJ. He wants to win. He wants to do good, and he's putting in a lot of time into these setups, into these cars, working in the garage with the team. And now, obviously, with the acquisition of Shocks, who we know is a very fast, very consistent driver from the past few seasons, and even a wild card in John that they just picked up as the rookie this season. So I mean, Newfound Glory, I think is going to be it's probably one of the more sleeper teams, but definitely one you shouldn't really count out on.
I mean, and you look at DJ, who he had a horrible start to the season. in speed weeks. Really, I mean, he finished dead last in the Duel 2. He had a pretty infamous incident in that. Shocks, besides the pole battle, who, you know, he got the outside pole, good for him, but he finished last in the shootout, and then he finished second to last in Duel 2, and then he goes out and grabs a top 5. And Fuzzy came out of nowhere, who, between all of us, I didn't even expect him to race because I thought he was going to lag really bad. Because he had shown at the super speedway, like racing, just off-season stuff like that, he had been lagging terribly. He got his internet to work, and I don't think finished, besides the actual 500, he never even got close. Like, he never finished outside of the top 5. So they really have their super speedway game on point as of right now. Now, whether they are going to repeat this performance at the first mile and a half Monday at Las Vegas, I don't know.
Well, and that's what makes me wonder, is that it's like you guys have so many different tracks coming up. It's like, did they just focus on Daytona to make a big show out, or did they actually put in work on the rest of the courses?
I can actually put in a word here, because like I said, I've been in talks with them, and I know DJ's been really working really hard on his Vegas setup, and I've raced a couple laps with him, and he is quick. He says he's still got some kinks to work out, but I mean, if he works them out, he's probably going to be a threat there at the front. And just in my interview that I had just not too long ago with Fuzzy, he's really looking forward to Vegas. He is amped up and ready for Vegas, because he knows he didn't get the result he wanted at the 500, obviously losing out on a top 10 position at the end there, constantly being in top 5 the rest of the race. But he is amped up and ready to go for Vegas on Monday.
The thing is, people are hyping, like, this isn't just a Newfound Glory thing. It seems like everyone in this league is trying their best at Las Vegas, because they know it is the first mile and a half. It's the same thing that happened in real NASCAR, where everyone was looking to Homestead the first mile and a half to see how everyone's doing. And I've noticed everyone is putting everything they have into Las Vegas, and I'm thinking Las Vegas is going to be an absolutely insane race, and I think a lot of people are going to come home disappointed after Las Vegas.
I honestly don't think it's just going to be Vegas, because FedEx is he's Regim's developmental driver in the Grand National Series, and we were planning on running him in the 95 for a few Cup races to get him some practice running with the Cup drivers, and he basically just wants to back out of that, because the level of competition that's in this league right now, especially in the Cup Series, he says it's intimidating. So he's kind of wanting to back out of running the 95 for most of the season. So it might be an all season thing.
It gets pretty tense. It gets I was sweating my ass off last night. I'm talking like borderline cramping.
It definitely is really daunting, because you're looking at a lot of these guys who were considered elite tier or just below that for the past 3 seasons, that may be looking at not even making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think if you're a driver that you consider yourself to be one of the best talents in the league, I think this year you're going to have to win a race to get in. Can't rely on points in your way in this season. I don't think so.
Me sweating bullets over here.
I mean, there is a definite possibility, just like I think it was season 2, we had 12 different winners in the regular season, and you could easily see, you could maybe even see 13 to 14 different winners this season, because I see everyone in the Cup Series running full time, running consistently. They have the ability to win a race, and most of them have. I think I was talking with DJ earlier today, and I think you see maybe 4 to 5 people that are locked into the playoffs, and there may be 2 to 3 that are that you are going to be very surprised if they make the playoffs. But those 8 to 9 people in between, you just have no idea what they're going to do.
I feel like we all know who one of those drivers that likely won't make the playoffs is, but maybe we shouldn't talk about that just yet.
A lot of this determines, like, if everyone shows up consistently, because that is a problem that some people have had in years past. Like, one thing I've worried about with Shocks this year is he actually going to show up? because he even though he made the playoffs last year, I think he only showed up to like 14 races in the regular season, which is just a little over half the races. I think Moutre showed up to 11 and he made the playoffs, but it's like, are these people who are winning early in the season, are they just gonna stop showing up? Because like I said earlier, there's that opportunity that we might have 13, 14 winners, and if you win and then you stop showing up because you say you're automatically in the playoffs, you could look a month down the road and you're out because
Well,
there's
I feel
13
like
winners.
Stop showing up.
I feel like stage points matter more this year than anything, though. So I'm gonna keep coming regardless.
Stage points. That's huge because in the Grand National Series, I was absolutely atrocious at the end there. But I got a 4th and 5th place finish in stages 1 and 2, and all of a sudden, I'm still in the playoffs as of right now. So stage points.
That's what I find
huge.
it's all about. That's how I kind of been kind of trying to do my thing in the past few seasons. Ever since joining was, you know what? I know I'm not one of the fastest drivers here, but if I can find myself at a good position at the end of the stage, I'll take it, because even if I don't win, if I can get the most amount of stage points that I can get, I know this is gonna work for me in the long run. And it almost worked for me season 2, but again, when DJ won that Phoenix race, that kicked. I was the first one eliminated out of this playoffs because he won that race, which really kind of ticked me off, because that night that we had those races, I just didn't have it at all. My internet was going. I had to switch over my whole configuration because I was running in a different league at the time. Like it was insane. But stage points for sure. And we even seen how Kyle didn't even finish the race, but he still technically locked. He still has a that last position currently in the playoffs because of those stage points.
Well,
He is above the cut line.
Even more so, you look at Great One, who also didn't finish the race. He finished, I think, 15th, 14th or 15th. And he's not only in the playoffs right of now, he's tied for 6th in the playoffs because he had really strong stage finishes. So you saw it here, you saw it in the playoffs last year. These stage points, they mean everything. And they're going to mean if you have a playoff spot or not at the end for those guys that are 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. If you don't show up in the stages, you're not going to show up in the standings.
Especially now that I noticed with a lengthened regular season as well. I believe I counted, what was it, about 5 to 8 more races in the regular season than there was last season. So
there's about 3 more, but I understand.
So I think I meant in total. Sorry. But there's more races in this season, regardless of how many there are. There's still more races, meaning more opportunities for a new winner, and also or more opportunities for a repeat winner to really solidify themselves into the playoffs. So that's the thing, because we saw Hunt last year. He won 7 wins and didn't get his final one to tie the record until the very last race of the season. And we saw Groove have that steady streak of every now and then, every other week, he'd be winning a race, and all of a sudden he went back to back in the playoffs, going into the championship to tie at 7 wins in the season. So it's some hefty competition, and I think honestly, if you know you're not gonna be fast enough for a win, try to get those stage points. Fight for that, even if it's. Some people will say, "Why are you fighting for 10th place?" Because it's stage points. If you get 11th, you're not getting stage points. And those are the most crucial things, I think, this season going forward.
And I think some people are going to be surprised by some of the returning guys' performances. Like Larold, I think is a person that a lot of people are overlooking, that I think is going to be able to grab a win or two, and he's going to make the playoffs. I think DJ is going to show out a little bit this year. He told me that he's going to race more races than he ever has. Shock seems to be taking it a lot more seriously than he did last year. You always have to count Saints as a threat. This field is just so stacked right now. Going back to what Tarheel said, it is extremely imitating to be intimidating.
There you
intimidating. Go, Why? It's late.
You have no excuse. We're drinking. He's smoking. What's your excuse?
I'm tired. It's intimidating to be in this field, and I couldn't imagine what it's like being in the Grand National Series like right now, trying to prove yourself to these Cup guys. going into a cup race and looking at all the talent surrounding you.
Can we talk about Core for a second?
Sure.
Absolutely showing out in the Daytona 500 for the Grand National Series, and he is the top rated driver that is not in the Cup Series right now. And he
honestly,
man
Core's
broadcasting.
Core's one of my favorite people to race around.
He's talented. There's no
He's very clean.
denying that. And I don't, I'm not surprised that he's up there. And personally, he was one of my favorites to win the Truck Series or the Grand National Series championship.
I think he's too clean. And by that, I mean you people are way too damn aggressive. So
Hey, we like to
I
give a
have to
show.
adjust to that.
We like.
I was gonna say, if there's so many people streaming, you have to make it entertaining. But I mean, talking about everything like that, though, there's so many drivers, especially in the Grand National Series this year. After watching both races, it's like you can see the progression between the two people. And like you mentioned, FedEx guy earlier, he wanted to step down and away from the Cup Series to get a little bit more practice, especially with these guys. But I think it's going to benefit some of these drivers that don't have, that don't have as much experience to be racing around these Cup Series drivers, especially in that series. It's going to show off a lot more about like learning the tracks and learning your setups and whatever you guys have the knowledge to bestow upon them, but it's going to be exciting to see who progresses throughout the entire season and who's going to come out on top at the end there.
Do y'all have any picks for the Grand National Series guys, not to only, really compete at a high level in the Grand National Series, but to maybe get their shot in the Cup Series and start producing immediately?
Oh yeah, I like to see Scoot Man perform. I know he hasn't gotten his chance yet. Unfortunately, he's been dealing with some things, but I think he's got a really good chance.
If we're talking about Grand National drivers, I know that he is a Cup driver, but I do believe is still running the Grand National Series full time, and that's John Reimer.
Mhm.
I liked what I saw from him in the Grand National Series. Running the 00 in the Cup Series, I mean, he was there. He didn't exactly make any huge splash moves, but he was there. I mean, his car was on the broadcast quite often just because of where he was running. And if he continues to run like that, and then he keeps racing Grand National Series, gets better and better, John Reimer might be one of those maybe Final Four drivers in the Grand National Series championships.
I think I'm gonna throw in a curveball here, just because when I was commentating on the race on Friday, I really liked what I saw, and albeit I have some bias towards my own driver, Cornbread, who couldn't make it to the race, but as I know he's good, but I really liked what I saw out of this kid, and it's the newcomer King Canute, really coming out of nowhere. And after interviewing him too, just knowing that it happened by accident, which I know I found out later that there were some audio issues, so we couldn't hear it. He said when he took the lead after that pit stop, it was completely by accident, but he stuck with it, and he stuck with it very, very well. And he was able to hold that lead for a while against some very, very tough competition. So in my eyes, that shows that someone he took it and he's like, I'm not gonna be scared of these guys, and he's gonna try to do whatever he can to do and prove that he belongs here. And he was feeling confident. It definitely was a confidence booster for him to be able to run up there in the front for most time. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull out a win or two now and then.
Yeah, even though he did take it by accident, because I think he forgot to pit on that last stop, he still held his ground really, really well up there. I mean, it was, surprising because that whole race, you saw really the Cup guys dominate that Grand National race. But it was really cool to see him step up there and, take a stand, take the lead and lead for what was like 15, 20 laps almost. It was
something like that, yeah.
Cool to see.
What about the it wasn't streamed because it's not like an every week thing, but the sports car championship. I do want to touch on that a little bit because
Lord,
that's going to be kind of insane. Because Great One we know is really good at road courses. Core I think is if I'm being brutally honest, I think Core is the best road course driver, not just in the sports car championship, but in this league. And
Hard disagree. I harshly disagree.
I harshly disagree with you, sir. Anyways, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted,
well, when I hear some
I'm
BS
apparently
like that,
a little better than I assume I am. So
I think
Listen,
it's without question.
I would like to put my name in that conversation a little bit too. Come on.
Y'all are all great, no, but I think it's without question that Groove is by far, and I personally don't think it's close, the best road course driver in this league. You saw him absolutely show out on the road courses last season. He never finished below third. I really wish he'd race a sports car championship, but I don't think he has the game. But you saw him in the NASCAR King of the Road tournament, and he outperformed me and Hunt, and he almost got into it. Got into the next round. So I think it's without question that he's the best road course driver in HTL.
I think Core could take him on any given road course. I think Core could take him. I mean, obviously, you guys haven't seen Core race on road courses nearly as much because he's a broadcaster. He did maybe like 1 or 2 races on project cars, and he hasn't really given it that much of an effort. But knowing Core as long as I've known him, I'm telling you, you are 100% sleeping on Core right now, because when he does show up to the sports car championship races, he's going to impress you, and you're going to rethink that.
I mean, no disrespect to the man whatsoever. I think he's great at road courses. I mean, when we had our little fun off season series, he did really well in that. I just don't think on NASCAR Heat 5, because Project Cars is a whole different ordeal. I don't think on NASCAR Heat 5 that Core is as good as Groove. I don't think anyone is as good as Groove on the road courses, and you cannot change my mind.
Both of y'all are ridiculous. Obviously,
That's
the
if you say
best.
you.
No, obviously the best road course racer in HTL is Jaybird.
That's my driver. I shouldn't be.
What is so funny?
I thought you were gonna say you, because I was
There
gonna put
is
you up there.
nothing funny about that.
He's right. He has a point. Because Jaybird doesn't turn on these road courses. He just pile drives himself through walls.
It's in his name.
He is so talented at road courses. He always manages to torpedo take out the fucking leader at some point. Like, it's always spot on.
Hey, McDawgFan, speaking of taking out leaders on a road course, remember
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we're not talking about that one.
Was it my brightest moment?
That's hush hush.
I will admit, though, going back to the Groove thing, though, he did surprise me, because going into last season when we were running the Xfinity cars, I was super confident going into Mid Ohio. I was like, you know what, I have a really good car here. I'm running good times, and then Groove just came out of fucking nowhere, and all of a sudden I'm looking on my time differential, and this motherfucker's already half the track away from me. I'm like, slow the fuck down. Where's the fire?
You just look at the dude's stats from last year, and I know we're way more talented this year than we were last year, but he had an average finish of 2.6 at road courses. It's insane.
That was the best out of all drivers, was it not?
Hell, it felt like he had an average of 1.1 at fucking all tracks.
Okay, but at the same time, like, I'm not saying Groove is not phenomenal, because he absolutely is. But when you look at the 2.6 average finish on road courses, how many road course aces do you have in this league right now? How many drivers can you say 100% are absolute road course aces in this league?
0 Hunt weekend.
Okay, so you're putting them in the top 3.
Yeah, I think they're in the same. I mean, if you look at their stats as well, Groove had a 2.6 average, 0 had a 3rd place average as well as weekend, and Hunt had a 3.2.
Okay, so
my worst finish at a road course in the past 2 seasons was 6th place at Road America.
I think those 4 drivers. Shocks is a good driver too, but he just he only raced 1 road course last year. Well,
if he races more consistently this year, I feel like he's gonna be pretty good.
He's gonna be in that top group, but I think there are roadies in this league And I think.
Why the fuck do you think I signed up for Mid Ohio and Canadian Tire in the Truck Series? I mean, come on.
I think there is a separate group that is way better than the rest of the field, because I feel like sometimes the rest of the field doesn't really know what they're doing on a road course. But these guys of Weekend, Groove, Zero, Hunt, they all show up consistently at every single road course.
Okay, so if you want to tell me that Groove can beat Core on
you know what I want to see. You know what I want to see it 1v1. I will broadcast it. I will stream it. I want to see a 1v1 on every single road course between Core and Groove.
I'm saying if you're telling me that Groove can beat Core on any road course on Heat 5, then you know what, I'll go ahead and give you that one. But
I will pay money to see this matchup.
Road course races in general, whether it be Project Cars 2, F1 video games, any real game that has road course racing as the primary mode of racing, I think Core takes him down pretty much on all tracks.
I can agree 100% to this. As you know, I also delve a bit into the F1. I've gotten Larold a little bit. I've raced a little bit with Larold and Dabster as well. I did a couple of laps with Core. I got smoked. I smoked Larold, but I got absolutely manhandled. Like, no lube, nothing, just straight.
Y'all are sleeping on my man's. I'm telling you, he's not playing around.
I can agree with you.
I welcome Core's coming into this, and I want him to do good on the road courses. I want to see, because I know it'll help me, because if I can watch what he's doing and get some knowledge from him, I will welcome it anytime. Like I said, like with Groove, I will give credit where credit is due. This man is a beast. If what happened at Darlington didn't happen, I think I will say this on record. You can do it. You put it on a fucking billboard. I think he would have beaten Hunt on 8 wins. I think he would have gotten 9. I think if he wasn't gone for that 1 week, he would have gotten 10 wins that season.
And I can agree with you on the fact that Groove is probably not as good as Core on other road course racing games. You know why? Because he doesn't have them. So what's the point of comparing it? It's like comparing LeBron James to Babe Ruth, because you know what? They don't compete in each other's sports.
Celebrity softball
overrated. Just saying.
Groove's overrated. Okay.
The Great Bambino.
So, did we get an official name for this whole segment thing, or it was?
I think we're just winging it.
I don't know. I'm just waiting to quit talking about fucking road courses.
Oh yeah, because this dog is. If there,
McDawg is
silently
the
high
best. The McDawg is the best road course driver in HTL. Period.
You know, McDawg goes to a road course.
He is the most consistent road course driver there is. Why? Because he never finishes them.
He goes and looks at a road course and he goes, "Wow, what the." How
you could have just left at the consistency.
Why is there a right turn at Talladega? What the fuck is going on here?
Oh my goodness.
I usually finish the HTL road courses, just not the Project Cars 2.
No, sorry,
the time that
from the couch standpoint, behind, it's
Backseat
very
driver.
interesting sometimes. Yeah, especially when he flips up the mic and he's over here cussing himself out because he gets pissed off about something that happens. And I just have to sit here silently and be like, it's okay. There's still 2 more stages.
I'm basically Kurt Busch. The races are going on.
He's like he's a nice mix of Kurt and Kyle Busch from day to day. It just depends on how bad it is. It keeps it interesting. Oh man.
So I think we need to do that Shacked in a full rip-off segment that we were planning on doing. I think it was Checkers and Wreckers, or what we called it, something like that.
Checkers and Wreckers.
I mean, we can go over some awesome moments here and there, but I mostly want to go over the dumb crap that we see.
Well, we have
let's just throw my entire career in HTL. Let's just throw
the whole stream.
Yeah, how long do we have?
Hey, listen, I got a notification from Zoom that said, hey, we had a 40-minute timer on you, but you know what? Y'all are doing such a great job. We're going to take it off. So we literally have eternity to discuss Zero's wrongdoings in HTL.
I don't think
that's fantastic.
We're doing that well.
That I could fill an entire encyclopedia collection.
Anyways,
have 12 volumes. Just have them all sitting on your shelf, color coded.
Literally 300 pages per race.
We should get him a trophy like of a douche and be like, "Here's your HTL douche award to 0."
It'll be the first time I've really won something.
Wow, got depressing there. So let's move on.
I'm in the league. Come on.
Let's go to our checkers or wreckers segment. First off, we got DJ pulling some tomfoolery in Duel 2. Will Laryl go with him?
Now, while we're watching this, I want you to pay attention that the longer this video goes on, the worse it looks for the 43.
And that's
Now, he is a lap car at this point, correct?
He is a lapped car.
Oh my god.
And look at that, and he puts John into the wall.
That's his teammate.
He
Isn't that his teammate?
It is his teammate. I think he proceeds to alt F4 after this, just completely gives up on the entire race.
I remember calling that.
Nothing like a group of 4 cars going 210 behind you, and you say, I don't really feel like getting out of the way
It's
today.
gonna hold the preferred line.
That sounds like something I would do, not gonna lie. I say, fuck y'all.
Wasn't there only like 7 laps to go at that point too?
There were like 7 laps to go, and I really think that screwed Zero over more than anyone, because I feel like John was going to go with him no matter where he went. And
I thought that wasn't me in there. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, Zero's running 3rd here, and he just lost the only other Chevy within a mile of him. So that...
I think I was excited too. I was like, oh, DJ's coming up. Maybe he might actually help because we're Chevys. Nope. I was like, you motherfucker.
Oh, that's cool.
I still don't think he knew that the leaders were there.
He told me he was so angry at that race because what had happened is he had moved his table at the beginning of the race, and it unplugged his pedals from his wheel. So he couldn't go, and he said he was just so angry he just didn't know they were there, and I don't think he would have cared if he did. Also notice the title DJ Es No Bueno Lap Car. So
DJ Es No Bueno.
So
I had the Daytona glitch on the restart where my speedometer got stuck at 122.
Yeah, you stacked up the whole fucking line.
Bro,
I was like, what? I was like, yo, I didn't know I was in a traffic jam in Toronto.
Like, I was just now working my way back to the front and just like stopped.
Think of New York City traffic.
Before we view this, I want you to look at I want you to imagine Larold and Mootre looking at each other during this clip. So just go ahead and roll that.
Keep in mind, this is lap 1 of the Daytona 500. We've gotten through 3/4 of a lap.
And that's as far as we would get.
So I think the 11 lags right here.
The 11 lags.
Oh my
And there we go.
Hey there, buddy. How's it going?
Do y'all remember?
Just throw him a little wave.
Oh, hey there, bud. How's it
High
going?
five.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fly on top of you here, eh?
Do y'all remember that scene from Cars?
Yes.
Where
Oh.
they had the wreck, and those 2 cars came flying out, and they were on each other's roofs. Just looking at each other.
Let's just talk about Cars for a second here. I think that as an introduction song, Real Gone by Sheryl Crow should be introduced. I'm just going to throw that in the ring really quick while we're talking about it. It's the beginning of Cars.
I think the beginning of each HTL race, I think we should hear Tarheel do his best attempt at a cover of that song.
Yes.
That's wishful thinking right there.
Agreed. I mean, you already got me and Hunt singing Country Roads at home.
That was absolutely.
Highway to the Danger Zone.
I had to turn my volume down.
It's funny, Weekend wasn't racing that night, and he was trying to look through the streams, and he was trying to watch Dapsters, and Dapsters was like way in the back, so he's like, all right, I'll go watch Zeros. And he pops in, he hears y'all singing Country Roads, and I shit you not, he says, I'm just gonna wait for the results to come out.
I was watching that stream.
I don't blame him.
No, view the rest of that clip, man. View the rest of it because it's pretty wild.
You continue going.
Oh, yep.
The caution comes out, and he continues to wreck.
He thinks he's good.
Oh, he gets hit.
One more round.
Now we got to go.
And
to
I was like, wait a second, was that Dabster there in pit road? What the hell did he get
It's
there?
like
So-
it's like legit. Nobody has brakes.
It's ARCA brakes. And speaking of that same wreck, Dabster had liftoff.
See, I
Like, we knew-
heard him in the party in our comms chat say that he took flight, but I was further back, so I didn't exactly see everything. But I did see someone pirouetting in their car through the air.
So
And I'm assuming
usually-
it was this Mr. Peanut looking man.
So NASA launches their rockets, I think in Juniper, Florida. I can't remember where they launched their rockets.
Isn't
Today,
it like
they
Jackson?
decided to do a special occasion
St. Peter? No.
and
Oh.
do it in Daytona in front of a crowd.
All single.
Reaction makes this
His-
fantastic.
His reaction makes this so much better too.
Elon Musk, is that you?
It's alright. It's a long race. Oh, like
It's a long race. Yep.
The 11 car. Oh, I'm airborne. I'm airborne.
There goes me underneath
Oh
him.
my god.
Look at that.
11 car. Who's that?
What cracks me
Now
up the
wait,
most
wait. The
about
best
this?
part. The best part. Right. He's on his roof. All right.
The
Flip right
pit
over.
menu's up.
Let me go get back on the track real quick. Let me
All
just.
single.
See, what cracks me up about Dazzler's reaction is as the crash moves on, his voice acts like he's hurt.
Oh
He just went through a
no!
traumatizing
Oh,
experience.
You can tell he's high.
Oh, I mean, his name is Sir Dabster.
Right, I was
Every
gonna
time we go to Costco, all you hear is.
You're not wrong. I think listen, I think the last season's Daytona 500 where he was like up there towards the front for most of the race. Man was probably like 3 dabs deep already at that point. Like he was. I don't think he races a single race without taking a dab beforehand at all.
I
Like,
picture him with his eyes squinted, having the time of his life while he was flipping descent.
he sent me a photo one day because I said in one of my streams while I was racing that he couldn't be in. I was like, Dabster, if you're watching, because I know he rewatches the majority of my streams too, because he likes to watch, what he looks like on and from other people's perspectives. So he generally is. So if we race next to each other a lot, he will go back and watch. So I knew he was watching or gonna rewatch it. So I even said, if you're watching this, the moment that you see this or hear this, you need to send me a photo of you taking a dab. Immediately I get a photo from him taking a dab, and I'm like, that's my boy.
I mean, I imagine him in his room. That it is.
Full of
He can
Pittsburgh
barely.
Steelers
He can
stuff.
barely see the screen because it's just so smoky in his room.
It's so hazy.
Moving on, we wanted to do a blast to the past. Y'all haven't seen this one because none of y'all were even close to being in the league at this point. This is the season 1, the inaugural finish of Homestead Miami between Vanilla Thunder and Who Dat Saints to the right.
I've heard a lot about Vanilla Thunder, so I'm
Like, I didn't mean to get into you on that turn, by the way. I was getting blasted by 5 different people.
100% meant to get into him. Don't let him lie to you.
Oh, there they go.
I might have.
Go kills.
You also get to hear the whole complaining of
And I just
me,
got sent down
their
by
shocks.
Blue again.
Just look at the speeds that he's going. He's going like
I'm
150 in the corner.
kills.
I can't
And
help
that, like, nowadays you'd get absolutely
DJ?
shat on.
Ooh. He's bringing it. Now, I haven't seen much of Saints race. I hear he's absolutely ridiculous, but I haven't seen him.
He won 6 in 7 races.
Oh, that's
ooh, the slide job right there, cutting him off.
we call that a Tyler Reddick block.
Hey, you're right.
It worked for him.
Oh, is he gonna block that right?
He's getting
Yeah.
those runs on the outside, man. Ooh,
Oh wow!
Wow. And
I'm
is
just
that
saying, I
that
love
is
that
Dabster
name.
finishing
Also,
third though too.
Peep Damster's old name of
I
I'm
love
just saying.
I love it. I'm just saying. Like
He had
it's
to
super
he had to
good.
change it because people were getting him and saying Blue confused.
Yeah, I mean the Dabster name's more fitting, but I'm like that's how I met him as I'm just saying. I'm just like, fun fact, The working relationship between me and Dabster started with my first ever race at Pocono in this league. I was holding down, I think it was 6th or 7th place in my very first race using custom setups because I lied through my teeth to both Dawgman and DJ, and they're like, we'll let you in. And I'm like, okay, now I need to know what a custom setup is. But here I am holding down like 7th place, and all of a sudden Dabster comes around, and I just doing old zero things, which are less now, but was way more back then because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And I just completely fucked him over, and he just laid into me after the race, and I was like, I'm sorry.
You still don't know what you're doing. Stop it.
I still don't. I just have 2 wins under my belt in this league, that's all.
So
It's a work in progress, though.
Exactly.
So I wanted to do a
Getting
last
there.
little segment where we all kind of give our hot takes for the season and then yell at each other for it.
Ooh, something fun.
I'll start it off. The Cup 1, 2, 3, your defending champion, does not win a race in the regular season.
You're absolutely lying for your teeth, but okay.
No, there's no.
I was
don't
gonna say
think-
that's an interesting take. Like, look at him in the Grand National Series.
It's a
That's
wrong
interesting.
take.
That's interesting. But I'm gonna say you can go fuck yourself.
It's absolutely wrong. But, very interesting.
he may get a super speedway win, but
Nah.
That's more absurd than saying I will get a win in
I-
the regular season.
I think if
Well,
you
yeah,
look
but
at
like,
what
look
he
at the
did from
team he
last
has
season,
around him.
he has an incredible team around him. But if you look at his regular season statistics, see, last year he shined in the playoffs, right? If you look at his regular season performance compared to, say, Groove and McDawgFan, his teammate, he pales in comparison.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to be comparing everyone to him. All we have to do is see if he's going to get a win this season.
Also
You
have a
don't,
lot
you don't
of
have
different.
to be McDawgFan to get a win in the season.
I just look at the schedule, and I think I think he had a great speed weeks, but I think Las Vegas is going to hit him like a truck, and I think he is going to struggle.
You
in
want to know
regular
what I
season.
say to that?
I think you're wrong, my friend. We've
I
been
say-
practicing Vegas.
I say the complete opposite, because last season he got his he got his wins and everything, but he wasn't anything too great. He just points his way in, won the championship. His confidence is higher than it's ever been. He's winning not just one; he's winning multiple.
I will counter your claim on the cup. I say he might get a win in the regular season. I'm gonna say he doesn't go back to back though.
No.
He
doesn't.
doesn't.
He does not go back to back. And I'll say even hotter take. I'm gonna say he gets eliminated. He makes the playoffs, but he gets
And I do
eliminated
think
in
he
the
makes
round of
playoffs.
9. I think he gets eliminated in round of 9.
It wouldn't surprise me because I look at what Cup did in the past, right? He only won 3 races, which is the smallest amount by I think 2 races by any season's champion. And he only won 1 race in a Cup car on no, never mind. He only just won 1 race in a Cup car last year, and it was at Talladega. His other 2 wins came at a dirt race with modifieds that we don't run anymore, and he won a race in the Xfinity cars at Charlotte. Meaning, so he won 1 race with a Cup car at
Don't
a
forget
really
that
non-skill
race was
track.
also under controversy too.
It's,
that
and it's a
Charlotte race.
controversial race that technically never really finished because Coop Scoop wrecked him.
That's gobbledygook, and you know it.
I mean,
So we said hot takes?
I could play the clip of Hunt just screeching like a what are like a fucking I don't know
I think
what it is.
pterodactyl is accurate.
Pterodactyl is probably the most accurate thing. Of him screeching of just saying no as I zoom in on his death at Charlotte, like he died.
And still, to this date, in either HTL series, he has not won a skilled track while actually finishing the race in Cup cars. He won Daytona,
hot take
he won the
turned
pole battle?
interesting.
he won a pole battle, and he won Talladega. But he's never won like a Phoenix. He's never won in Atlanta. He's never won a road course. He's never won a 1.5 miles in a Cup car. And the 1.5 miles race that he did win in the Xfinity race, he never actually finished the race.
Dog, how you hating so
championship.
fucking hard, bro?
I'm not hating him, but y'all told me hot takes. I'm giving you a hot take, and I'm backing it up.
You're not giving us a hot take. You're giving us a wrong take. But
No, I'm giving you the correct take.
He's
Honestly,
given us an
you know
8th grade
what?
PowerPoint.
You know what? I might actually have to side with Dawgman a little bit here. Not a lot, just a little, because hearing the facts, he does make a point.
Here's the problem.
But I do know he's been.
Smith.
But
I'm being Stephen A. Smith.
Shut the fuck up.
Here's the problem.
But I do know he's been working very, very hard in the off season, and I wouldn't put it past him to prove all of us wrong right now and go out and even win Las Vegas on Monday. I wouldn't even put it past him.
Way too much on the numbers, because the fact is, this man just won a championship. This man has probably the best teammates he could ask for around him, and this man just dominated Speed Week. You're out of your mind.
As a former teammate of his,
races at a restrictor plate. You're relying on his performance at one restrictor plate week.
This is your defending champion. Put some respect on his name.
I'm putting respect. No disrespect at all. But the man, if he wins a super speedway race, I'll give him that. He may win a super speedway race. I'm telling you right now, no disrespect at all, he will not win a road course. He will not win a short track, and he will not win an intermediate track. His only chance to win this year is at Daytona Talladega.
I'm telling you right now, me, Group, and Cup have been working together, and we're going to continue to work together. And I promise you, he'll be a factor.
And y'all are teammates. That's great. But if you think he's going to go out there and win Las Vegas, you're incorrect.
I don't think he's going to go out and win Las Vegas, but I think he'll be around and have a shot.
He gets consistent top 5s, top 10s, but he does not win a race this season. He might pull out something bad at Daytona or Talladega, but he will not win a skill track. Silence. Boom.
No, we weren't silent because you proved us wrong. We were silent because we're baffled at the stupidity that just spewed out of your mouth.
Listen, you will not spew out whatever mild hot take you get out of your mouth and get as much conversation as I just did.
I don't have a hot take, my guy.
Yeah, you're also taking out the human factor of it. Like, this kid's got practice, and he's like everybody's saying, he's coming off a major win. He's hyped up. You heard him at on the broadcast at the end of the season. As soon as he came off that race, he was out of his mind, excited about everything.
And that's
going
the
into
problem.
the season.
That's the problem with relying on numbers too much, is because you're not expecting him to improve on those numbers. You're expecting him to be the same driver that he was last season, and he's not.
Right. We've had a month of practice. Everybody's been working hard from different aspects, and nobody knows exactly what everybody's been working on. Everybody's had different focus on different races. You look at the teams around you, and like we were just talking about earlier with Newfound Glory, the way that they're coming in, that nobody really expected it right out of the get-go. So who's to say Cup won't come in with a few wins? Who's to say Cup won't come in with all the wins? Maybe he'll finish out the season, do a clean sweep. You can never say anything against anybody because it's yet to be determined.
He's already failed the clean sweep, so.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I got a hot take for you guys right here. I got a couple actually.
Oh Lord.
One, on May 21st at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That race is gonna be a complete shit show.
I harsh disagree.
I think only because anytime I ever bring up, oh, we're racing in New Hampshire, everyone's like, dear God, why the fuck are we racing New Hampshire? Right? I'm curious. I was actually one of the people that did vote on the end of the season vote of like, what tracks you want to see. I want to race New Hampshire. I want to see what's like.
What kind of hot take is this?
This is a mild one. It's a mild one. It gets spicier.
This is like the winter take.
It gets spicier.
And
we're starting off slow.
This is like the zesty ranch take.
Exactly. This is the zestiness.
And
here's my hottest take.
No. I need to dispute your dumbass New Hampshire take. You look at our gateway races, which is pretty much the same track, just dumber.
Just dumber.
They've been good races. They've been great races. They haven't really been caution fest. You've had Tempers Flare because it's a heavy braking track. But I think to call New Hampshire a shitty race is going to be. I think you're going to see a lot of people spin out. I think you're going to.
I'm not saying it's a shitty race.
You said no. You said a shit show race.
I said it. I think it's going to become a shit show.
Which is
the same thing. I think it's going to become a shit show.
But that's.
I'm looking forward to it. But
it's going to be time to move on to the next hot take.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Zesty ranch take here.
The zesty ranch. This is a spicy one.
This ain't even zesty ranch. That's just ranch.
Shut the fuck up. I think Now it's a little bit of biasy. I think Stadium Blue is going to score a couple top fives.
He scored a couple top 5 last season.
I think he's going to score at least a good amount of them, like even more than last season. I think, and I think here we go. I think he's going to score a top 5, maybe even a top 3 at Phoenix.
I don't think Stadium Blue's problem is that he's necessarily a horrible driver. He lags a lot.
And who's to even say he's going to show up for Phoenix?
Because he told me he is. He's on my team, Dawgman.
Well, I realized that, but he also told me he was going to show up for the Daytona 500, and I didn't see him.
He saw Mortal Kombat. he went and saw Mortal Kombat, which he said is really good. So,
at least his priorities are in check.
Exactly.
Priorities racing is your life. No, his priorities weren't in check. This overtakes your life. You're getting married? No, not as important. You race that night.
No, literally. No, I'm bringing my setup to the hotel room before we consummate. I'm racing this league race, and then we'll do whatever.
I can see McDawg doing that. No cap.
What's that?
No cap. I agree, 100%.
Getting married that night, you could go to your hotel room, booting up the whole PlayStation, getting in that league race, and then doing whatever afterwards.
Hang on. I got to race in this championship race here. Hang on, give me a second.
There have definitely been times where I'll get a text. He'd like still be at work, and I'd be at the house, and he'd be like, "Hey, how are you?" I'd be like, "Oh, I'm good, thank you." And he's like, "Hey, can you
Can you boot up my game?
Yeah, can you boot up my game and pull my chair out and set up my setup, and can you also like make sure that I have a good paint scheme and take a picture of it, please?" And
Wait, so you're telling me half the time he puts in his paint scheme, it's not him doing it?
No, it is mostly him. A lot of times it's like, okay, make sure it's the right paint scheme in it. I only did it one time, and it was like with 3 minutes to spare of him coming home, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, like I don't know what I'm doing.
She did my all-star paint scheme.
Yeah, I did the all-star paint scheme. I think I went for a veteran throwback.
I won in it, so
I think I'm more impressed that you actually do this stuff rather than say no, do it yourself.
Well, stuff like that. That's
I have
something.
The best girlfriend on the planet. Just saying.
I want a trophy. But I was gonna say I kind of grew up on some of this stuff. Yeah, I'll take a medallion.
Medallion.
Participation ribbon.
Yeah. Like give me one of the horse ribbons so I can put it in my hair like a ponytail.
Like the ones you got at like track and field. Just like, here you go. Thanks for
the little skeleton stickers you put on your football helmet.
Yeah.
How does a piece of paper that says "good job" sound?
I'm fine with that. Can you make sure it's on a sticky? I want it on a sticky note though, so I can hang it on the fridge.
I'll see what I'll see what I can do.
No, you don't even get. But it's gotta be like the lowest part of the fridge, you know.
No, it's gonna be.
It's on the fridge. It's on.
No, you gotta put it on the freezer instead of the fridge.
Alright, what the fuck are we talking about? So
we're talking about sticky notes for your girlfriend. What's wrong with that?
Oh, anyways, I was gonna mention something about racing, so there we go. But I was gonna say I kind of grew up watching NASCAR and this and that with my dad, and so when meeting Marcus, the first thing we talked about was music, and then it was like, hey, so I have a race tonight. Are you okay with that? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you have a race tonight? And he goes, I race NASCAR. And I was like, what? And I got actually fairly excited.
And then you realize it wasn't the real NASCAR. It was online. You're like,
She realized.
I mean, exciting, but
okay. I may be a female, but I'm not stupid. I'm aware that that my boyfriend is not a NASCAR driver in Michigan coming out of Monroe. But I mean, well, hey, truth be told, lesser stories have evolved. But that being said, I think the other thing that was really cool is once he actually let me drive in the simulation, I did fairly well. And so then I got excited because I was like, I could do this. And then that's when I was like, let me sub. I got you. If there's ever a race you can't make, I'll sub. And he was like, no.
Here's what
lets you try the Grand National Series.
Here's what I'm getting out of this is that we're gonna see a brand new driver in the Grand National Series soon.
I was gonna say, I mean, I would be honored, but we'll see. I'll have to get a little bit more practice in before I throw my hat in the ring there.
So you're saying when McDawgFan had to bow out of the playoffs a couple seasons ago, he still said no to you subbing in?
Well,
what are
a
you
couple of
talking
seasons ago, I didn't exist yet.
A couple seasons ago.
You were just born a few months ago. That's strange.
Yeah, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I evolved.
Also illegal, but
Yeah.
strange is the one we'll go with.
Yeah, I
God,
wasn't going to mention
God.
that. I'm not trying to get him arrested just
No,
yet.
it's like in Twilight where she grew up in like 2 months.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Perfect sense.
No, I will be 23 in August. I'm legal. I have my ID card if anybody needs verification, but you will not get my social
I
security.
will also be 23 in August. What the
Yes,
fuck?
Chris Hansen, fuck off. This video ain't for you.
Why don't you have a seat over there?
I turned 23 in August 1st.
Mine's August 21st, so you got me
Damn.
beat by a fortnight.
Hey,
So I suppose, are we done with hot takes, or does anyone have another one?
I don't know, Marcus. Do you got one?
You gotta have some. You're
gotta
a
have
country boy. You
some.
gotta have some hot take about some dumbass.
I could
driver
have
that pissed
easily
you
went
off.
easy and said I'm gonna win 3 races, but I'm like, nah, I gotta keep it somewhat believable.
I can throw one out there.
Right, Tarheel.
It may not be super spicy, but maybe it's something. I think there's a very realistic possibility that Tombstone Motorsports as a whole gets less wins than Hunt did last season, even with Hunt in the lineup.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Oh,
That's a little spicy.
that is. That's like that's
Because
picante.
here's the reason why. Nothing against Hunt, nothing against Dawgman, nothing against anyone on Tombstone. The competition level has drastically increased, and if we're being honest, I think a good chunk of Hunt's wins last season came towards the end, did it not?
To be fair, his 6th win was at the Darlington Fiasco. If that doesn't win, he doesn't get 8 wins.
And he won the championship race as well.
And he won the championship race, and he won the final Daytona race of the regular season.
So I think it's possible that all of Tombstone gets less than 8 wins.
You know
I'm
what?
gonna
Going
harsh
on that,
disagree here. I'm gonna
going
harsh
on that,
disagree here.
I'm gonna have another. I'm gonna add on that one. You know, this is spicy. This is a spicy one. I'm gonna say, Dawgman doesn't make Champ 4.
Ooh.
You know what?
Calling him out on his own podcast.
You know what?
It was my
You
fucking
guys.
idea.
Screw you guys.
I
I'm
don't
gonna make my
think
own
that's
podcast.
too out of the question because, I mean, Groove, McDawgFan, Weekend is always there.
I'm gonna call a Champ 4 right now.
Go ahead. If you
I'm
say
gonna
0,
say-
I swear to God, I'm leaving.
I'm
No.
gonna
No.
fly up to Canada and probably kick your ass if you say yourself.
I wish.
Guys, we're in Michigan. We got this. We'll just drive
Yeah,
up there.
I'll pull up the army van.
I'm gonna
Tell me to
say.
make-
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I'm gonna say at least one Tombstone driver does make it, but it's gonna be Saints.
Ooh,
I think Saints is gonna have, because I've heard a lot about him and I know he's a good driver and I know
just had a
he's a
tough
good
start.
racer. He's had a tough start. Plus, he came back for the one race at Phoenix, then he got injured. So he's definitely looking for a rebound season. I think this might be it for him. So I think he's gonna make it in. I'm gonna go with Marcus, of course, McDawgFan. He's already in the playoffs.
Thanks.
So I think he's been really, really consistent. And if he didn't get his shoulder injury a couple of seasons ago, I think he was also again the favorite to win that championship that season too.
I just want to point out real quick that Marcus was my number 1 power ranked driver going into the 500, and I was 100% right.
There you
Don't
go.
care,
I
you go.
appreciate it. I'm glad
I'm
you
gonna-
guys at all.
I didn't know this
what to
was.
say.
I didn't know this was. Hey, let's make the dog feel good for 2 hours.
It's only been like an hour and a half.
I mean, there's no pit road on this podcast, so
There you go. I'm gonna say the third championship driver is going to be. I'm gonna go a little spicy
These
on this one
nuts?
as well.
Got him.
Got him. I'm gonna go.
I'm fine.
I'm gonna go a little spicy on this one too, given our history with each other. I'm gonna say. No, I also have a bet saying that they
Anytime,
might be the
sweetheart.
first. They might be the first one out of the league. But if they're not, I think they can really make it to the Champ 4 is Great One.
See that?
And the final one is potentially
Wait, what did you
is
say?
Groove.
You said Great One is making the championship.
I'm saying if he can keep it together, because he is.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Because he is fast. I do know that. I do know he's capable of getting some wins. I think if he can keep it together, he has the possibility. That's why I said I'm going to spice this one. So I'm thinking it's going to be Saints, Groove, Great One, McDawgFan. That's my champ for this season.
I disagree.
I was going to say there you have so much competition in the field this season already, and there's so many more people. I don't think that's a lock-in at all.
And
I think there could be a major upset in that in like 3
races. 100%.
And I applaud 100%. You guys
100%.
for saying that I'm not going to make Championship 4, because for the last 3 seasons, everyone has said Dawgman 2025 ain't going to put his ass in Championship 4. So go ahead. Say it again, and you know what I'm gonna do?
You're not gonna make the champ 4.
I'm gonna be there for Homestead, and
for the record,
kiss my American ass.
You'll be there for Homestead, but it won't be for the championship.
I haven't given my prediction.
Give it.
So
that was your cue, bud.
All right, then. Hang on.
And action. Let's go.
All right, so I got Saints Groove. I have Dog going just based on the next to last round.
Thanks, sweetheart.
And then I have Hunt.
Kisses.
Hunt makes it, huh?
Yeah, I see Hunt making it.
I did say
I do see him making the round of 6.
Hey, my Championship 4. Y'all ready for this? Because y'all loved my cup take already, so you're gonna love this take. You know it's gonna be pretty medium well. I think I make it. I think that McDawg makes it. Don't say thank you or anything. I think
thanks.
I think that Weekend gets back to the Championship 4, and I think Saints gets there.
So basically, a reversal of fortunes, which was last year it was 3 Newfound Glory.
That doesn't sound like a prediction. It sounds like a wet dream.
And now it's 3 Tombstone against 1 Newfound Glory. Or
I think that's what's gonna happen. I think that's what's gonna happen.
I see both Hunt and Weekend making the round of 6. I think it was a fluke that they both were eliminated very early on in the playoffs. Hunt had a strength 3. He placed well at the Roval. He finished in second. But then the next 2 races were just atrocious for him. He's had really bad luck.
Yeah, Weekend has tough luck.
And Weekend also got involved in that bad luck as well. I know, especially at Atlanta. So I definitely see them making the round of 6. I just think I want to have that one upset driver, which is going to be the Great One. As much as I hate to say it, no offense, but I do hate to say it that he is. I will give credit where credit is due. When he wants to race and he wants to be competitive, he can. As much as he annoys the hell out of me, he can. He can back up his smack dog.
Here's the reason I think Weekend makes Championship 4. 1, I think he wins the Roval in round of 9. I don't think you win it again. And then I think Weekend turns around, and I think he wins Charlotte. I think he wins back-to-back races. I think he pulls a Charlotte sweep, and he makes it to the championship again.
My Final Four is a lot more boring than y'all. So out there.
Hey, listen, this is the entertainment business. I'm trying to make it
not
entertaining.
Very spicy at all.
Just say it in a cool voice. It'll sound more interesting.
There you go.
I don't have any cool voices. I have one voice, and that's the voice of disappointment. I think McDawgFan makes it. I think Dawgman makes it.
You just said I wasn't gonna make it.
No, I said it's possible, but if you go back to my power rankings, I did say it would be a crime not to include you in the Final Four. So
well, thanks, sweetheart.
Yeah, well, then fucking lock me up.
So I think McDawgFan. I think Dawgman makes it. I don't think Cup makes it back to the Final Four, but I do think he makes it pretty far in the playoffs. If Saints is nearly as good as I've heard he is, I think Saints makes it. And if I'm going to spice things up a little bit, I would not put Great One in there just because he does tend to have a temper problem, and he might kind of get upset and leave a couple races here and there. I would go for the more consistent approach of Laryl, because I think Laryld's better than people give him credit for.
I 100% agree with that Laryl pick. And I think people do not realize how crazily consistent Laryl is. And there used to be a big joke in this league that there is a thing called playoff Laryl. And playoff Laryl is absolutely insane. I could see him not placing outside of the top 5 in every single playoff race.
That's wild. That's a pretty.
He'd basically be pointing his way in just like Cup did.
I think he will point his way in to every single round. I 100% agree with that Laryl pick.
Honestly, just with the relationship I have with Laryl, which is pretty good, I agree with that too. You know, and also he's calm, he's cool, and he's collected both on and off the track, right? Like he's just
no drama.
He's a very likable guy.
Everyone likes him. El Diablo.
Yes, sir.
What's those championship picks you got there?
Oh,
I feel like she's gonna have the spiciest ones, just for shits.
What are those championship picks there?
I wish y'all had your camera on just to see McDawg's face right now.
I got the stare down for a good second there. Well, okay, so based on the consistency and the work that I've seen him put in, I'll have to go with Marcus anyway, just because I'm also I am biased.
Do one without including me.
Okay, well, I have some factoids to back that up. You've been working on your iRacing as well.
Okay.
And so you've gotten a lot more practice as far as like force feedback and adjustments and setups and this and that. And so I think that you have a new aspect coming in NASCAR heat that's going to give you a little bit more of an edge that you didn't have previously. That being said, same with Dawgman and NASCAR and stuff like that. You're racing with a more competitive league, so I would put you in the top 4 as well.
Yes.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Way to inflate his ego a little bit.
Hey, listen, my ego has been kicked around for the last hour and a half. This is nice.
Right? I'll throw him a biscuit. But Scooby snack. So I mean, with that being said, like everybody's putting in there's a lot of other people that could come in and throw a wrench in the plan type of deal. I don't want to exclude anybody from that. I would say that being said, I'd probably put Hunt in the top 4 as well. Just based on the consistency that he showed. He really did try to pull it off in the last part of the regular season last year, and he really did a good job of that. I think just when it came to playoffs, like we all said, he's just had terrible luck coming into it, which was really disappointing, especially because he is so young and showing that amount of talent for somebody that doesn't even have their actual driver's license. Like, congratulations, dude.
He's gonna get a lot of speeding tickets, guaranteed.
100%.
Oh my gosh. He's gonna, if he's backing out of the driveway, like, be aware to any cars in the street. Like, oh,
He's gonna spin him.
Oh yeah, he's gonna. I'd like to get a home video of his first time driving a real car in his mom's minivan.
Before he even gets his own car, his parents need to buy him a dash cam.
Yeah, get him like the progressive snapshot thing so that he can't fuck up. Let's see. I guess I only have one more left, and it's really hard for me to say because I really haven't been around for all the seasons. I've been around for like 3/4 of season 3, you know. And so I feel like any opinion that I have isn't very valid. So my takes aren't that spicy. I guess part of me wants to throw the Cup in just because that's in a sense, I'm rooting for him because he came out of, I'm not going to say he's going to get the win again this year, but I want to see that progression again that he showed towards the end of the season. He really did start putting in a lot more effort. Same with the rest of the former Newfound Glory team, now Tribe. But like I said before, none of my opinions are valid up until the season really starts, I think, just because there's so much new talent that I haven't seen. There's so many people coming back from previous seasons that I haven't seen, but I'm really excited to start learning and watching this and seeing how everybody races each other, especially if I'm going to be stepping on behind the wheel in the other series, which is still making me a little nervous. So we'll see how that
Speaking of the
goes.
other series, I think it's pretty fair that if we're gonna do a hot take quick for the Cup series, why not do one for the Grand National series?
Ooh, interesting.
That one's
Okay.
a little. That one's hard because
Yeah,
we'll
I've
do
only
it.
seen
but
a lot of these
Hey,
guys race one time. So.
Hey, it's hot takes, not fact takes. It's hot takes. You just fucking fire them out.
All right, if you want me to take wild guesses on the Grand National Series, I think your championship 4 is Core, Great One, Cornbread, and Scootman. That's my championship 4. For
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
I would back you up on Core and Scoot Man, especially with those trucks. Like I've seen Scoot Man and Marcus race together separately, and he's got some competitiveness to him, and it's funny hearing him on the other end because the entire time he's just laughing and doing his own thing, just completely relaxed. Meanwhile, he's like kicking ass and taking names. So especially in the other like the Project Car series that everybody had going, he was
he's fast.
coming up. Oh yeah. So I would agree with that, especially with Core after the discussion that we had earlier. I think that's a good way to go about it. But same with that, we also, not to offend anybody, Tarheel, but I think Fuzzy coming out of the gate, I don't want to put him in the top 4 yet, but I think that he showed a lot of aggressiveness and a lot of desire to win. And I think if he puts that into play and with a little bit more control, that he could be a contender as well.
See, that kind of leads into for me because there is still one driver we haven't seen in that series yet, and that's Alabama Man. So I don't know his potential, but obviously for me, I definitely have Core potentially going into that championship 4. I obviously am gonna go with Cornbread as well. I know he's fast, and I know he's been working hard. Even though he's only gonna make I've been told that he won't be able to make the Friday races, but he will be able to make the Sunday races. But I know that he's been working hard and he's been dying to get back in this league, and I know he will do what he has to do to prove himself to get back to where he once was. So I know he's got a chip on his shoulder that he's gonna try to get rid of. That's my going into that. I'm also gonna say Fuzzy is probably gonna make it there into the Champ 4. And for the final driver, I want to say it's tough for me. It obviously came down, but I think Scootman just barely gets knocked out. I think it'll be like a 1 point difference of the cutoff line between him and FedEx Dude. He made some errors. He made some rookie mistakes, but I think those are easily things that you can easily fix within a day or two. And, with just some memory and whatnot, and just going back, doing a couple extra laps of practice. Because in those duels and in the races that I commentated, he had a very, very strong start. And I think, especially with the team he's got behind him, with Core and Tarheel, I think he's really gonna impress a lot of people.
Now, here's the thing. I'm not gonna give any Final Four prediction because most of these guys I haven't really seen too much of. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna make my bid for the Final Four because I feel like there's not enough information about me as a driver right now. I think I 100% make the Final Four for a couple of reasons. One,
I had you at my picks, by the way.
Wait, what?
I had you at my pick, by the way.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll get to that, and then I'll let you go ahead and talk me up a little bit. But super speedways are my absolute least favorite track to race on in that game. Can't stand them. Don't like racing them. Typically trash there, but still in stages 1 and 2 in that Grand National race, 4th and 5th, and that was with the primary goal of our team, me push everyone to the front. I was never supposed to be the lead car. My entire objective during that race was to push Core and FedEx guy, and I did it very well.
That you did.
on a track that I do not like. So, intermediates, I'm good at. Short tracks, depends on the short track, but I'm okay at. I think I 100% make the Final Four. But go ahead, Marcus, talk me up.
Well, I had you in core just based on I see the kind of work ethic you guys put into the series. The practice was obviously there. Like I saw it on Daytona. Like you guys, you came prepared for slider setups originally. That's what you thought.
Yeah.
And you guys came out and showed out, and it just shows me the talent that's on that team. I'm not gonna pick Cornbread, and the reason I say that is usually I would, but with him having issues making Friday races, that's gonna be a big deal in this league, especially coming towards playoff time. So my other picks would be Scoot Man. I've worked with him over and over and over again, as Hannah said. And then I have Great One, and that's just based off of seeing him in action for it almost a year now. So
I do think people are sleeping on Great One because he's somehow considered a top driver for the Cup Series, but no one's really talking about him in the Grand National Series. He's driving full time, guys. I mean, yeah, but no one's really talking much about him. Like,
and that's why I kind of left my last slot open for the top four, because there is so much competitiveness between like you yourself, Tarheel, and then people like Great One and everything like that. You can't really lock anybody in. You know, you have so many people that could, like I said earlier, throw an upset in all of this because we haven't seen anybody race.
We have no idea what the Walking Maniac guys are going to do because they've already pledged they're going to race. You know, Jaybird is running full time in the truck series, and we don't know how he's going to race in this. DJ is racing like 75% of these races. He's shown that he loves racing the trucks. John's good there. The King Canoe guy led a couple laps in the Daytona race. I think, especially with the way the points are different, which I don't think a lot of people know, the Grand National points are different from the Cup points. There are less points given out for the trucks, and the point differentials are very small. So I think the trucks are really going to prioritize top finishes more than the Cup Series are. And I think it's, you know, the Cubs, we all talk about how the Cup Series has an insane amount of talent. I think the Grand National Series has a lot of talent, and the amount of talent between the drivers is about the same. So it's going to be really close the entire season, especially that you can beat and bang those trucks. I think it's going to be a great season down there.
That's why I said when I made mine is that with coming down to my last pick, it's going to be like a 1 point difference. I think throughout the playoffs, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be neck and neck all throughout, and the cut line is going to always be within, like, I don't think that cut line is going to, unless someone has a really bad race, I don't think that cut line is going to go over more than like 6 points. Like, I think it's always going to be super close. Obviously, yes, I might not have said some will make the championship 4, but am I taking away the fact that they're going to have a deep playoff run? Hell no. I do think that Great One is potentially easily round of 6 material. Scootman, easily round of 6 material. A lot of these guys, easily round of 6 material, but it all comes down, again, it's also 704, the servers. Anything can happen. We saw what happened with Hunt at Richmond, the first playoff race, and he was lagging like a motherfucker, right? And he's never done that bad before, and it almost screwed him over, right? Like, anything is happening. Like, we just saw what happened to the 500. That didn't happen at our 500 last season. Our 500 last season was, we had like maybe 2-3 cautions at the beginning of the race, but after that we were fine. Not as many people hitting glitches, not many cautions coming out. So I think I'm bringing into the fact of anything is possible in this league, because not only in your own driving ability, but you also have to take into account what is the net code going to be like. And I hate bringing that up, but you have to always think of that as a factor.
I agree. The game does play a bigger factor than people like to realize. It does suck, but the servers aren't always stable enough to let those top guys run at the top all the time, you know?
Well, and that's accurate. You see all the track glitches and everything that everybody experienced. It's not just one person. It's throughout the entire league. is ridiculous. It causes so many issues, and there's been so many major wrecks because of stuff like that, from somebody getting thrown off the track to, well, we just saw Dabster flipping through the air, stuff like that. It gets wild.
That damn ballerina.
And Marcus was a victim of the turn 3 glitch over and over again.
Yeah,
oh my god.
I hit it about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, the fact you won the Daytona 500 is a true testament to your perseverance, dude. I would have given up a long time ago.
Bro, I slammed my headset. I legit thought I broke it at one
Oh,
point.
like he stopped talking for a good 10 minutes.
Now, I will say that the glitches in this game are at their worst when it comes to Daytona. There is just something cursed about that track that
the logos don't even load in.
Yeah, the logos in the night race are terrible. It seems like they're, at the beginning of the game, there's only that one glitch going into turn 3. Now there's one at every corner. There are some in the middle, in between turn 4 exit and the tri-oval. There's 2. That's what Saints hit in the shootout or pole battle. I forget which one you wrecked. I don't think the glitches are going to be that big of a factor going forward. I feel like even though the tracks don't race great sometimes, I don't feel like there are a ton of glitches, other than some tracks are a little janky when it comes to how they race, but I don't think there are really any glitches that I can really think of besides Daytona.
Well, and hopefully that's a testament to the truth there, just because it's been so bad just at the beginning of the season. So hopefully it's just this is sorry. There's a lot going on over here. There's a catnip ball attached to the wall, and the cat's going crazy right now. So
mine is too. So you're not alone.
The cat is it's chewing on a ball that's stuck to the wall right now. It looks stupid.
It's actually half her head is pressed up against the wall, and she's gnawing on it, mouth wide open. It's a show. But anyway, this is now a podcast about cats.
Welcome to the HTL Cat Podcast.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Meow Mix or whatever it is.
Sponsored by Whiskers Temptations.
Ooh, that's actually their favorite treat. So other than catnip, Marcus has a friend from Canada.
I'm not even surprised that it's catnip, considering what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah, if we're gonna be hyped up, we gotta get our cats hyped up too, dude. It's just
exactly.
We literally buy this thing for our cats called Meowiwana.
Nice.
It comes in this little container. It looks like pot. It's great. My cat goes insane when we give it to him.
I have a plan that Marcus isn't aware of, that I want to get a dog just because I saw that there's a new BarkBox toy of a pot leaf and a bong. And the cats would not use them, but he's like, oh, don't give me that face. But yeah, they're dog toys. So if anybody has a dog, feel free to go ahead and go get that. I would love to see it. Send me pictures.
Hunting has a dog.
Oh, that's right, because he's always taking them out to pee at the last second.
I swear to you, take your dogs out earlier, bro.
Did you? Hey, Hunt, if you're listening to this, did you? Hey, Hunt, if you're listening to this, it's 11:12. Did you take your dogs out tonight?
He's probably taken them out for the 4th time in the last 3 hours because he only takes them out at night for whatever godly reason.
Probably because everybody else in his household is asleep and he's wide awake.
Yeah, probably.
And the dogs are in his room, probably like, dude, I gotta pee. Come on.
There's this great thing called pee-pee pads. I think he needs to invest in, so during these races, he doesn't hear his mom yelling at him to take the dogs out.
Do you know how embarrassing it would be to have an adult dog? Do you know how embarrassing it would be for the dog to have an adult dog using pee-pee pads, though? That's like that's having like a 30-year-old man wearing diapers.
It happens.
I mean,
get you some of the pins.
Hey,
you gotta go to the bathroom. Pins.
Listen, NASCAR drivers wear diapers, so
that makes sense.
I was just gonna say that's a hot take right there. Who's gonna pee their pants in their seat this season because they don't want to get up and lose the race?
To be fair, if you go back again, I know I bring it up, but if you go back to that Darlington race, here I am going to stage 2. I didn't use the washroom beforehand, and I thought
did you piss yourself?
No. The reason why all of a sudden at the start of stage 2, when I'm leading the entire race, and all of a sudden my car doesn't go, that's because I was just getting back from the washroom.
By the way, he calls it a washroom.
Canadians.
That's so weird. I actually didn't know. Like, I call it bathroom, washroom, whatever. I don't ever call it restroom though, because I don't
Trump
rest in
built
there.
the wall on the wrong side.
Well, you don't wash in there either.
Yes, you do.
You tinkle.
I mean,
Well, it's also not called the tinkle room, but
If I go use the washroom in my house, it's called there's a shower in there too. I wash myself in there.
okay. Then if you go in public and you
I go to the
but that's-
bathroom.
like a baseball
What is
bat,
happening?
but
to
there's
this
no bath
podcast?
there.
That's what I was just gonna say. Then it would be called
Then
the
how come-
toilet room.
I just call it a bathroom.
Well, I guess
The
that's
fuck's
why
up-
people call it the shitter then, but still.
yeah.
The
I call it that
the
sometimes
golden
too.
throne.
The porcelain throne.
Excuse me, sir. Could I borrow your urinal?
I call
Here,
it.
this is what
Super Bowl.
I call it the urination station.
Nice.
You would too.
It's funny.
Can I tell a dad joke?
Sure.
Oh god.
So this was one of my favorites growing up that my dad used to tell me is if you're Russian going into the bathroom and you're American when you come out, what are you when you're in the bathroom?
European.
European.
And with
sad
that,
that I was
it
the only
looks
one
like
that didn't
we're
get it.
running out of content for this one, as we've talked about cats and shit for the last 20 minutes. So
I think maybe it's time to wrap it up.
I think it's time to put this in a nice little neat bow so I can go and edit this for the next 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
Wrap it
So
before you end it.
so
Oh my
I
god.
this might be out in time for the Sunday night race tomorrow, but if not, make sure to check out Monday night. It will be broadcasted by Timac, the NASCAR CEO. He will be.
Tomorrow night's
Man,
race.
you really are stoned.
The Sunday night
He's over here
Miami.
pinching his nose.
Sunday night Miami for the Grand Nationals will be broadcasted by myself here.
Yes, and Monday the Cup race comes back. Las Vegas, will we change the rules? We will not be running strict cautions just in case. See how it goes there. And it'll be broadcast on the HTL channel, and I think we will finally get it to where it's a dual broadcast on Twitch and YouTube.
That's
so
awesome.
Looking forward to that. Anything else y'all have to say that does not have to pertain to dad jokes and peeing and cats?
No, bro. I'm glad we're doing this. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me, El Diablo.
El Diablo.
The
Great
fighting
addition
chicken.
to this. The fighting
Hamburger
chicken.
horse.
Man, this is a blast.
yeah.
Getting some guests on here.
Yeah, you know, if you're interested in coming on this, I think we're going to do this every single week, every Saturday. Should give us plenty of content with the amount of shit that goes down in this league.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
always something.
That's about it. We'll see y'all next time.
I'm a little
Take care,
offended
guys.
that nobody included me in the Cup Series Final Four.